Alright, Rob, you asked for it, so you're getting my responses. Um, First question, why am I called that? I'm gonna go with what you did and pick my screen name rather than my actual name, because that's a stupid story for another time. But my screen name is a combination of two things, one of them being velociraptors, because I do this noise, which, it's kind of self-explanatory. The Anaxa part comes from a rather vindictive nickname I managed to pick up in early high school. It's based off the Greek goddess Anaxarete. Well, she's not a goddess. Greek mythological character Anaxarete, who refused to return the affectionate feelings of an admirer for so long that he killed himself, and then Aphrodite turned her to stone so that her outside would match her heart. And yeah, probably not the most flattering name that I could have picked for myself, but moving on. Right, tell you about my favorite school teacher. That one's changed several times over the years. Probably the person I'd have to pick right now is a sculpture professor that I had in college who's just absolutely phenomenal. This guy was like top-notch awesome. But he taught me a lot about how to see the world and how to see myself in it, and what sort of impact I could make. And I guess probably the best word to describe it is a word I learned from him, which is phenomenology. It's just the way that things will work together and affect each other, and how nothing really happens in a vacuum. But to you, Jim, I give a great big thumbs up, because you're probably the coolest person ever. Even though when I met you, you told me that I was a horrible artist and you made me cry. But it was okay, because we ended up getting on towards the end of it, and yeah, you will forever be Professor Badass, and you will live in our hearts. Strangest food I've ever eaten. I eat a lot of weird stuff. I'm a vegan, so I eat cheese that's made out of tapioca and all sorts of crazy shit like that. I guess maybe the weirdest thing would be this one time I was on a choir trip in Australia and we tried Vegemite. I strongly advise against doing that if you value your tongue and happiness and not hating life, because that's really all you're gonna get out of it. So just turn and run away if you can. Alright, this question asks, tell us about your first gig. Yeah, I don't really know in what context to answer that question. Because I've been in choirs, but I don't really know that counts. And I've been in bands, but like school bands. And you pick up your tuba and you go off to the middle school gym. I don't really think that counts as a gig. But I'm in an a cappella group here at the school where I'm in grad school. And my first gig with them was called Whispers in Your Ear, and it was this big just a cappella festival that we had in the spring. And it was pretty cool. I had my first solo ever, and it was really kind of a transformative experience for me, going from being, choir girl who's used to being one of 50 voices and blending in as opposed to standing out, and then suddenly, everything is on stage for everyone, and you gotta roll with it, and you gotta be cool with that. And yeah, it kind of changed me a little bit, but I think for the better. Particularly since I want to go into teaching and I'm going to be on a stage all the time talking to, 30 kids every class. So, yeah, good training and definitely a confidence builder. My favorite place in the world. The next question was just talk about it. It's the only person I know of, who would actually know this place is probably Nerimon. Or I guess Charlie, because he's from Bath as well. But fairly close to the Roman baths, there's this little stone bridge. It's a stone's throw from this little bookshop where some wonderful man gave me a discount on Harry Potter books because I was there on a choir trip and his daughter sang in a choir, and wasn't that just a delightful coincidence? And he was just so charming, and I went and stood on that bridge and read through the first chapter of the British version of Order of the Phoenix, and I don't know, it was just very peaceful and very beautiful, and I would absolutely love to go back. Favorite place in the world that I haven't been but would like to be is probably going to be somewhere in India. I'm fascinated by Indian culture and Indian food, which is a particular favorite of mine, which is why my house always smells like cumin and coriander and cardamom and all those C words. I like C words. Yeah, so hopefully I'll get to see that someday, and then maybe that can be my new favorite place. Alright, who would I like to answer the survey next? I don't have a lot of friends on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna ask my friend Peter, and I apologize for calling you out by name, because I have no idea what your YouTube username is. It's something about hobbits or Tolkien or being a complete raging nerd. I don't know. You do your thing. But yeah, I'd kind of like to hear all about your stories and whatnot. So yeah. Alright, well, thank you, Rob, for this delightful opportunity to be YouTubing again, I guess. I haven't posted a YouTube video in a very, very long time. And so since I'm here and I'm answering all these questions and telling you about me and cool stuff that I do, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to a little friend of mine. Gotta let go, sweetie. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. This is Nutmeg. She's a baby squirrel. And she's about 5.5 to 6 weeks old. And can't really climb trees or stay awake for more than 2 minutes or so at a time. So I'm rehabbing her in my apartment. We're having a grand old time. I feed her mashed carrots and avocado, and it's great because since I'm vegan we have the same diet, so I just feed her my groceries, and it's awesome and saves me so much time. But yeah, so that's my squirrely friend who's currently burrowing in the pouch of my hoodie, and it's kind of a weird feeling, but whatever. So yeah, this was Nerimon's 2012 survey as dared by Rob. Clydesdale 433 numbers. I have no idea. Sorry. I suck at the YouTube thing, but it's been a delight.